What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Too Easy Ukulele, where I show you the easiest possible ways to play your favorite songs while still making them sound great. Today we are doing something a little bit different. I'm going to show you the easiest possible way to restring your ukulele. Quick little backstory on this guy. Looks a little bit different than the one I usually use. This was a gift from a great guy. He has a different YouTube channel, totally unrelated to ukulele. Does things related to theater and everything like that. So if you guys are into theater, check him out. His link is down below. It is Behind the Curve. That is his channel name. It'll be down below in the description. Check him out if you guys are into that. Again, thank you so much, Mike, for this ukulele. Really appreciate it. I'm super excited to use this in this video. Now, we're gonna go ahead and use this. This thing is a diamond head ukulele. Pretty solid body. The only issue, the strings, they suck. I don't know if you guys can even hear that. It's probably better that you guys aren't hearing that. Like C, A minor, F, and G. Shocker, they all sound the same. So what we're going to do in this video, we are going to take these off and I'm going to show you how to restring this to see if we can make this thing sing. Stay tuned. Let's go. All right, so we can see here we've already taken care of the top three strings, the G, C, and E string. We are going to go ahead and go through the A string now and show you guys how to do that. Just a few tips on cutting strings. A lot of people say, use string cutters, go out and buy one, anything like that. You don't need to do that. Use the nail clippers. It works perfectly fine. Everybody has one. They're free. Just use the nail clippers. Second thing, if your strings have not broken and you're simply restringing just because they're old strings, anything like that, make sure you loosen up the strings a little bit by simply loosening the pegs a little bit here. That takes a lot of the tension off the strings and off of the bridge and is much less likely to damage the bridge or anything of the pegs up here when you guys actually cut the strings. All right, so the strings themselves, nice little pro tip here. This is a soprano ukulele. It's the smallest kind of ukulele you can get. I'm actually stringing them with concert length strings. You can use these two interchangeably, so don't freak out if you guys can't find soprano size strings. Just by concert. Nice and easy. The other tip here, when I got these strings, I had no idea if I was going to be able to tell which ones were G, C, E, A strings. If you get any reputable string pack, they will actually have colors that are coded on the tip of each string. You guys will be able to see that in the picture that I post up here in a second. Makes it super easy to figure out which string is G, C, E, and A. Nice and easy. All right, so the very first thing that we need to do is attach the string to the bridge. For anybody that doesn't know, the bridge is this little piece of the ukulele right here. We are going to take the string and string it right underneath in the hole there and bring it back out this way. Now this is obviously very tiny, so what we're going to do is demonstrate that using a much larger rope that also doubles as my kid's Wonder Woman rope, or Wonder Woman lasso, but that's neither here nor there. All right, check this out. All right, so what we're going to do here, we are going to use our imagination. We're going to pretend that this is the bridge here and this is the A string. So what we're going to do, we are going to pretend that the hole is right here. We are going to move this through the hole, bring it back up this way, and I'm going to make sure that we get a decent amount of slack on there so we can wrap it around. And we're going to act like we're just going to do a simple knot first on there. Make sure we've got a little bit of length here so you guys can see, just a simple knot. And all we're going to do is just wrap it through one more time and then pull it tight. And that's all you guys have to do. Very straightforward with that. Now, the other little tip here, don't worry as you guys are actually doing this with the strings, if no matter how tight you pull, you won't be able to get it super tight here. There might always be a gap here. Don't worry about that. As you guys attach it to the peg and start tightening, it will tighten this up as well. It'll make this super tight, so you guys won't need to worry about that. Again, you guys will be able to see the picture of what this finished should look like up close with the actual string here in a minute. So that's all we have to do here with that. So getting back to the actual ukulele here. All right, so then we can move this over and we will go all the way over to here. Now, if you guys are using concert length strings, these will be much longer. I've already pre-cut these. You guys can see here about 3 inches slack. That should be plenty to go and string through here. The other thing we're going to do, we're simply going to string this through the peg. And what we want to do, little pro tip here, is take this and string it back through one time. That makes it so that way the string stays much tighter as we crank on that peg. All right. Okay, now last thing here, which way are we actually cranking this peg to actually tighten this thing up? We want to turn it counterclockwise. You guys can see here, and you guys will be able to see in this picture here, that all of the strings directionally are towards the inside of the ukulele. That's on purpose. If we have them outside, then for example, the string here, the E string, would actually be pulling up against the peg of the A string, and we don't want that for lots of different reasons. So again, start tightening it counterclockwise. We want to make sure we keep some tension on this as well. So just go ahead and start cranking as fast as you can. Unlike standard tunings where you want to crank slow and figure out the exact tuning, with this we're just wrapping it around. So feel free to just crank as much as or as fast as you want without harming your ukulele. So ideally, we want to wrap this thing around at least 2 or 3 times. Ideally, not like 25 times, but somewhere in that sweet spot between 3 and 6, somewhere in there. All right, so we can already see here it's already nice and tight on there. We're definitely cranking it a lot more, but we can kind of let off that tension that we use with our hand. So we just crank and crank and crank and crank and crank. And again, as you guys crank, you guys will be able to see that this knot here does get tighter, which is real slick. All right, now the other thing with this, and this thing that'll probably take a lot of practice, is to figure out how much slack to give on this string when you guys are putting it onto the peg. That'll take some trial and error. Don't worry about putting on the strings, taking off the strings, on, off, on, off. That's not gonna harm you at all. These nylon strings are super tough. If you guys feel that you guys got way too much slack and you guys are still trying to tighten and you've wrapped it around like 50 times, just unloosen it or loosen it up, tighten it up, and then just keep trying again. No worries on that. All right, so really, once we have that, we're pretty much about done. That's all we really need to do. We need to continue to tighten this to make sure it's nice and tuned. Once you are happy with that, make sure to clip this off, clip these off. One other pro tip with this, if it is brand new strings on a brand new ukulele, don't get frustrated if, as you're first trying to tune it for the first time, that it might take a day or two for the strings to actually settle in. This one, for example, I've had these top 3 strings strung for 4 days now, and I'm still tuning it just because the strings, they need to stretch. If they're brand new nylon strings, it's important for them to stretch. You guys can speed this up by taking the string and gently pulling on it to do a little bit of sped up stretching, if you will. For me, with this one, I'm not in a huge hurry to get this thing tuned, so I'm just doing it the natural way. Get up in the morning, tune it. At night, check it again, tune it, so on and so forth. Nice and easy. All right, so I think that's about it for getting the actual strings on there. Check out the other tutorial, my other tutorial for how to tune a ukulele in the description below. Once we have the strings on and once we have it strung, then we will be ready to go. All right, guys, hopefully you found this informational. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks and have a great day.